Hey everyone, I'm Brad, and on this episode of TrailRecon, I'm going to show you a really nice set of headlights and fog lights for the Jeep JK. You know, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I've tried a bunch of variations of headlights and fog lights. And the truth is, I've had some flicker issues with some of the LEDs, there were some fitment issues, and I really just haven't been happy with the styling. But today, we're going to resolve all that. The plan here, guys, is I'm going to show you these KC HiLiTES, give you up close and personal look at these, get some details on them. Then I'm going to show you how to quickly install them, and then we're going to take them out on the trail, and I'm going to show you what they look like compared to stock. I'm really excited to see what kind of light output we're going to get for these. Now, I don't expect to be swapping these out here soon because KC HiLiTES comes with a 23-year warranty. That's going to be really nice. Now, what do we have here? We have their headlights, which are their Gravity Pros, which are their top-of-the-line headlights. These are a projector lens, and these are supposedly going to put out a lot of light. I can't wait to check that out. And then we've got their fog lights, which are their G4 fog lights. These are going to be a nice upgrade and a nice addition to the lower bumper on the Jeep and give us that good low horizontal light that we need. This should be really cool. Now, let's take a close-up look and talk about some of the specs. These headlights are their Gravity Pros. They're 7-inch headlight, and they're specifically plug-and-play for the Jeep JK. They come with a harness that goes right up to the wire loom, which is perfect. These are a projector light. So the center lens here is a projector that has their Gravity Pro optics in there, which is a patented design that they have, which takes two LEDs and bounces them off a reflector and gives you optimum lighting coming out the projector lens. A lot of companies will just take the LED and bounce it straight out, and that light kind of spills over, where KC is being very technical about how they want that light coming out, which I really like. Now, this has a good aluminum housing. There's some heat sinks on here. There's a nice vent, so you're not going to get any fogging on there. It's got a good polycarbonate lens. Really just nicely built and sturdy. The high beams, now this is really cool. There are 6 individual LEDs on there that are bouncing off the reflector, again with some of their patented technology. I'm really excited to see what these 6 LEDs are going to look like. I mean, they're putting out 5 watts each. That's going to be like having a big old floodlight on your headlight when you turn your high beams on. So I'm expecting to see some good light output on these. And the great thing about these lights is they are DOT compliant. So your fellow driver out there on the road is not going to be blinded. You know, some other lights that I've used in the past, I've had some people flash me like, hey man, your lights are a little too bright. So we're not going to have that issue with these. These are DOT, street legal, we're all good. And their G4 fog lights are really nice. This is a complete direct replacement. You pull out the other light, which is held on by 4 screws, and you just screw this in and you're all set. There's 2 LEDs in there that are putting out 10 watts. Again, they're bouncing that LED off the reflector, so you're getting a nice horizontal beam. And there's actually an ability to adjust it here, so you can optimize it to be right where it needs to be, which is about midway between your low beam and the ground. That's really where you want your fog lights coming out at. Now, these are clear. These are not an amber, but they do sell an amber. I just chose to go with clear because, you know, we don't get a lot of storms here in Southern California, so I think I'm going to prefer having the white versus the amber. And these are DOT compliant, so you're not going to blind those folks coming down the road at you. You know, upgrading both of these lights at the same time is going to make a really big difference in just our daily driving. You know, these are both a 5,000 Kelvin output, which is a nice color. You know, a lot of LED companies are using the 6,000 K, which has a lot of blue and greens in it. This is actually better for the eye. You get less eye fatigue. Plus, this is going to match our Gravity Pro LED light bar. The color is just going to match perfectly. It's going to be really nice when we're out on the trail. Now, let's get these installed and let's take them out on the trail and light them up.
Now, the first thing you need to do to install the new headlights is to remove the grill. And some knucklehead, aka me, wired the winch through the grill. So some rerouting I've been putting off I need to take care of. So I'll just be pulling the grill forward, but accessing the headlights is much easier if you remove the whole grill. Once you pop the hood, you're going to remove the 6 plastic pins that are holding the top of the grill in place. And then just give the grill a good tug and it'll pop forward. And if you are going to remove the entire grill, you're going to want to disconnect the turn signal first before you do that. Now grab yourself a T15 Torx bit screwdriver and remove the 4 screws holding the headlights in place. Once you have all 4 screws removed, then you're going to reach down and grab the wire harness and press the red pin on the connector forward and disconnect it, and then you can just remove the headlight. Now you're going to be reusing the metal ring that's around the headlight, so just pull it off and swap it on to the new KC headlight. And then just do everything you did in reverse to install the new Gravity Pro headlight. And wow, what a styling difference. These are really nice. And a huge difference over the stock. Look at the difference here, guys, with that projector beam and then the high beams. A big difference in light. I can't wait to get these out in the dark. All right, now for the fog lights. If you don't have a winch plate on your bumper like I do, then you can actually access the lights from the top of your bumper. You don't have to crawl underneath and unscrew everything. After I removed all 4 screws from the fog light, I quickly realized that the fog light housing doesn't have any place to slip out of underneath, so I actually had to unbolt the front sway bar to have enough access to remove the old fog light and install the new one. Not a big deal, but not something I expected to have to do. The new G4 fog lights were a direct fit. They connected right up to the wire loom and they screwed right in, a perfect fitment, no issue. And I have to say, these look really, really good. Now, let's go hit the trail and test them out. Okay, and here they are. These are the headlights on the low beams. I got the KCs on the left and the stocks on the right. And then I'm gonna turn the fog lights on. And now I'm going to turn the fog lights off, and then I'm going to cover up each one of the lights. So the first light I'm going to cover up is the KC headlight, and you can see what the stock light looks like. And then I'm going to walk over and cover up the stock light, and you can see the KC headlight. And wow, the KC light totally dominates. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when we get 2 of them on there. Okay, now I've just got the headlights on and I'm going to turn the brights on, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cover them up. So first I'm going to cover up the KC, and you can see it really dims things out quite a bit. And then I'm going to walk over and cover up the stock light, and let me tell you, you can barely even notice that I covered it up because the KC brights are just so dominant. It's going to be crazy with 2 of them on the front of the Jeep. And now here's the fog lights. This is the stock light. And then let me uncover the KC light. Boom! Look at all that light we just got. That's ridiculous how much that puts down the trail. You cover the stock one up and man, you can barely tell. And I apologize for that little shadow in there as that was my tripod. And here's a good side-by-side comparison using the drone. You can really see that projector beam. It just throws that light down the trail. It's a very defined, clear beam pattern. I really like it. I think this is a very great upgrade. And now here's what the Jeep looks like with all the KC light, Gravity Pro headlights, and the G4 fog lights installed. I gotta say, it looks really, really good. Okay, and here are some shots from inside the Jeep. First up is just the fog lights. And then I'm gonna turn the headlights on, the low beam, and then the fog lights on with the low beam headlights, and then the high beam headlights. And you know, just for fun, I went ahead and turned on the Pro 6 light bar, and look how much light this thing puts out. It's crazy ridiculous. I love this light bar. Hey, wait, who invited this guy? Yeah, he just decided to hop out there while I was doing all this filming. So you know what? I turned on the Pro 6 light bar, and man, it looked like this deer was standing outside in the daylight. It's crazy how much light this puts out.
Okay, before I give you my overall impression of these lights, you gotta check this out. That's right, my drone crashed 15 feet. It was flying at night, I wasn't paying attention, and it hit the branch of a tree and fell, and hit the ground, and was sputtering around. I had to run over there, pull the battery. I could not believe that I just crashed my drone. I was so upset. But thankfully, I put the battery in, reset the whole system, and it flew and took off and was still able to film, which I think brought you some very good video and gave you a good understanding of how that light beam projects. So I was really thankful that it still works and I can use it again in the future. But note to self, watch for trees when I'm filming at night. Okay. Let me just say a big thanks to KC HiLiTES, guys. You know, they are a big supporter of the channel. We really appreciate that. I'm gonna leave a link in the description where you can head over to their website, and if you use the discount code TrailRecon20 for the next 30 days, guys, you will get a 20% discount on these headlights or fog lights or both. It's a great deal for you guys, and we really appreciate their support. Now, one criticism I have about these lights is they stick out kind of far from the grill. I would like to see them a little more recessed, but from the front, I think they look really good. Now, I have been driving around with these lights for the last 2 days, and I will tell you the performance has exceeded my expectations. You know, I knew installing these, it was gonna be brighter and it was gonna be better, but to be honest with you, it's phenomenal, guys. The beam of light that's coming out is awesome, and I have not blinded anybody. There are no flicker issues, and I just love the way they look. I think this is a great long-term investment. You know, 23-year warranty. I'm not going to be replacing my headlights or fog lights for a long time, so I think this is really good. Now, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. If you're visiting the channel for the first time, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. In the next month or so, we're going to be doing a night run where we're going to take all these lights and put them to the test out on the trail, so you're going to want to stick around for that. Thanks for watching, guys.